How you going, guys? It's Phil from Aussie Garage. I'm here with Graham from WASMA. Graham, tell them a bit more about it.
Yep, WASMA was created about 18 months ago. A bunch of guys in the modified car scene looked at other peak bodies, the CMC for restored classic cars and the ASRF for the street rod boys.
Yep.
And they're really well organised. They're organisations that have been going for 40, 50, 60 years.
Yep.
And the modified classic car guys really had nobody. There was talk of the C4C system coming up, but that had happened on its own on the side. But WASMA was created to try and pull all the clubs and guys together to have a loud voice and a strong voice to talk to government and to try and help influence things for the benefit of everybody. You know, the guys that created WASMA, they're not in it for themselves, they're in it to help everybody, and you know, nobody gets anything out of it other than just doing the right thing for people.
Yeah, awesome. So you talked about the C4C. So what does that entail for people that don't understand what C4C is?
Yep, C4C is a Concessions for Classics concessional licensing scheme. There'd been a previous one for unmodified vehicles that had been running since the 1960s.
Yep.
And that's called the Code 404 system. And it's just a code that the DOT apply to concessional registration anyway.
Yep.
But everybody calls it Code 404. And so long as your car is basically factory stock, then you can apply for this concessional licensing system. And it's a huge reduction in registration fees. There's restrictions on when you can use your car, but provided your club has lots of runs and you attend other club runs and so on, you can get quite a bit of use out of your car under the old Code 404 system.
Yeah, awesome.
So the C4C was to provide a similar type approach for modified cars, and so there was three guys, Mick Rack, Mick Allender and Eddie Arachi, that had independently sort of made submissions to government to try and come up with a concessional licensing scheme for modified cars. And then they found out that each other was doing the same thing, so they kind of got together and made a coordinated effort, and took them 5 years, but with persistence and you know, using the right approach, knocking on the right doors, and not annoying the government people, but you know, keeping it in the forefront of people's minds, and you know, making it happen out of thin air. So
yep.
I think everybody's hats should go off to Mick and Eddie for the efforts that they did.
Absolutely.
So, and that system got rolled out on April 16 last year. There was a code of conduct that came out a couple of weeks before then that everybody devoured and tried to work out how to make it work and so on.
Yep.
So since it's been implemented, we understand we've developed a bit of a working relationship with the Department of Transport, and we understand there's about 4,000 cars now in the last 12 months that have been put onto the C4C system. There's more than 10,000 cars on Code 404, but as I say, that's been going for the better part of 60 years.
Yep.
So, and WASMA was created about 6-8 months before the C4C got implemented, and knowing that it was going to be rolled out and wanting to try and get ahead of the game, one of the guys associated with WASMA created an app that the WASMA clubs all have access to, that electronically logs car runs under their private days or personal days or club days. And we've also helped the clubs to understand how they can open up their club runs to other clubs and everybody, so that everybody can maximise their use of the club days and still have their 30 personal days to use for for personal use.
Oh, awesome.
So it's a really good system. The clubs work really well together, and obviously we're really pleased with how WASMA is progressing. You know, I guess one of the reasons I'm here today is to try and help other clubs understand that being part of WASMA is good for them.
Yep.
And the only thing we want from those other clubs is basically just their numbers, so that we've got a stronger voice to talk to government. You know, we've currently got in the order of 4,000 members in the clubs that are part of WASMA.
Oh, that's great, yeah.
But you know, the CMC, who are the peak body for the restorer-minded people, you know, they've got more than 10,000 people that they represent in the 100 odd clubs that are part of them. So, you know, we're not in competition with the CMC or the Street Rod Federation. We want to work very closely with them.
Yeah.
And you know, we all got the same ideals, and that is to help our members use their cars, enjoy their cars, and have as much fun as possible.
Yeah, no, perfect. So with the C4C, like, how do people go about recording those, you know, the 60 days or the 90 days all up, but the 60 days and the 30 days prior?
Well, there's two ways. You can use an electronic app. The Code of Conduct, the DOT's Code of Conduct says that you can record your runs electronically.
Yep.
And our app, when you put your details in, it includes all of the information that you need. VIN number, registration number, you put in your driver's name for each time you use the car, and then because we've got events loaded in the app, if it's a club event, then you just select which club event is on, and that's the one you're going to go to, so it records all the details for that automatically. If you're going to use a personal day, then you fill in the details of roughly where you're going to go and the times and so on. But the thing with the C4C is it's days, so if an event's on at 6 p.m, you can use your car from 8 a.m. that morning because you're going to use it on that day.
Yep.
And vice versa. If it's an 8 a.m. breakfast run somewhere, then you can use it until midnight. So that's in the app, and all of the clubs that are involved with WASMA, we've got a closed Facebook chat group for the app, and honestly, I'm part of it, and everybody's just really happy with the app. And I'm not trying to oversell the app, but it is working. It's worked right from the start, and it's still being improved as we speak. The alternative solution is if you're not a part of WASMA and haven't got access to the app, you have to do a logbook and record start and finish times and where you're going to for each day. And something for, you know, I've heard people laughing about, oh, just run two logbooks or whatever and get 180 days, but that's pretty dumb because there's plenty of number plate recognition cameras out there, guys, and you're only kidding yourself, because if the DOT do an audit and they find that you've been using your car and haven't recorded them because it's on your other logbook, just dumb. So, you know, play by the rules, boys. You know, if you want to use your car every day, pay full rego. It's only fair.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Most of the people that have got the cars under C4C, they're a Sunday drive or an event drive anyway, or a special occasion. They're not always out on the road every day.
Very few of them are everyday cars.
Because at the end of the day, that's why they're on the C4C, you know?
100%, yeah. And I mean, there's obviously an attraction. Instead of about $800, $850 a year for normal registration, it's about $160 to $200 a year. So there's obviously a saving there of $600 odd.
Absolutely.
Which is certainly an incentive, but an offset against that, if you've got to join a club, you know, $50, $80 to join a club.
So how does that go when your vehicle's on C4C for things like insurance? How does that work too?
Well, I mean, I can't speak for Shannon's or the other car insurers, but the feedback that I've had is that when they've let Shannon's know that it's on C4C, they've generally got a reasonable discount on top of whatever they're paying. So, you know, they may have it down as limited use to begin with, but they tend to find, I've heard 20% as a discount, and people get money back.
Oh, awesome!
So yeah, it's well worth letting your insurer know when you put a car on C4C.
Yeah, it sounds great. Well, look, thank you very much for talking to us here at Aussie Garage and finding out a bit more about WASMA. It's been enlightening, and look, all the best with everything, and we hope you get some more members to join up, because I know I'm on it for my van.
Yep.
And it works perfectly for me, and it's easy to use. Never had any issues with it.
Yep.
So I find it it's simple as.
Yep.
And most of the things is, once you've used it once or twice, it auto fills most of it anyway for you, especially
100%.
Rego and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty about it.
Yep.
And yeah, it's easy to adjust and change and edit when you need to as well. So
Yep. Yeah, no, it's look, the guy that's developed the app, he's done an amazing job. I mean, it's not his everyday job, and obviously, I guess there were questions in people's minds how good it would be.
Yep.
As I say, everybody's just been blown away that it's worked right from the start, and it's been improved and improved and improved. And the club admins they're really over the moon. It makes their life so much easier.
absolutely.
And the data feeds out automatically. It's safe and secure in the cloud. I'm no IT expert, but
Yep.
I know that it's working well and everybody's happy with it. So it's
great.
super good.
Excellent. Well, it's good talking to you, Graham,
Thanks
and thank
a lot,
you
Phil.
very much for chatting to us at Aussie Garage, and we'll chat again soon.
Not a problem. Thanks.
Awesome.
Good
Thanks,
on you.
bud.